You're welcome to yet another tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'll be making this gorgeous gown that you can see here. So if this is what you're ready to learn, you can sit back, relax, and watch. And please don't forget to to like, subscribe, and share this video. It helps us to grow. Thanks for coming back. Okay, let's get to work. Now, I'm going to take my fabric and I'll first cut out the length of the total gown length of the person. Our total gown length is 57. I'm going to add 2 inches to it, make it 59. The extra 2 inches is half for joining at the shoulder, the 1.5 for joining, for folding, for hemming the dress at the bottom. So here I took 59 inches and cut it out from the main fabric, so I'll be able to work with that aspect alone and other fabric will not be disturbing me. So at this point I've measured 59, then I'll cut it out from the whole fabric. So after cutting it out, I have to bring it out and fold it into two. What determines this folding is my sleeve length. I took the measurement of the customer from the middle of her neck to where she wants her sleeve to get to, and I got 18. So I have to fold the cloth like 18, but I'll not fold exactly 18, I'll fold 19. I will use 1 inch to hem the tip of the cloth. So here I took 19 measurements, 19 inches. Yeah, so from that 19 inches, that's the 19 inches that I'm folding for the old clothes. This part now is only for the front. We are going to cut the back separate because the back is going to have a zip, and I'm trying to adjust to make sure that everything is well laid and there's no fabric folding underneath. So after straightening the fabric out, I took the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement is 14. 14 divided by 2, that's 7 inches. So I measured 7 inches, then I went back to the hem of the sleeve. I came down by 2 inches. So I'm going to make a slant from that 2 inches to the neck width. The neck width for this dress is 3 inches. So I'm going to connect the 3 inches from the neck width to the hem of the cloth together to form a shoulder slope. So now I've gotten my shoulder slope, that's the straight line you're seeing there. Then from that head, I'm going to take my neck depth, which is 4 inches. My neck width is 3 inches, my neck depth is 4 inches. So I'll connect the two lines with a cuff, the 2 points together, connect them with a cuff. So after connecting them with a cuff, then I'll take my half length, my bust measurement, the bust point measurement, which is 10. And I also went ahead to take my waist measurement, the half length measurement. Yeah, before the half length measurement, the notice that the butterfly ends at the hip part. So I use, my hip length is 24, but I use 28. That's where I want my butterfly to end. So at that point I have to take my hip measurement, the total hip measurement divided by 4. Then I added 3 is allowance to it. So I did the same thing at the hem of the cloth. The measurement I have at the hip is what I'm going to include, what I'm going to have at the hem of the cloth, because it's a straight gown, not pencil. So my hip divided by 4, plus 3 inches. So I connected that line from the hip line together. So from this edge where I got the hip line and thing, I'm going to make a cuff line to the shoulder slope. So just like you see me doing the video. So I make a cuff line that way. If you want yours to be more bigger, you have to increase the sleeve length. And then you get a bigger butterfly effect. So at this point I have to cut it out. Just follow the line. Yes, I'm done cutting it out and trying to shape the hem there. Now our front is ready. It's just as simple as that. Then I'll now cut out another length. The way I cut out the front piece. I'm going to, yeah, I was trying to be double sure of my measurement. So that's what I did there. Now I'm going to cut out another measurement of that 59 inches. The way I cut out the front part. So I've cut 59 inches out, then I'm folding it. This time when I'm folding, I have to add my zipper allowance because it's the back. There's going to be a zip. You notice that the cloth is a bit fitted. So because it's fitted, there have to be a zip for easy wearing. Yes. So here I have to leave zipper allowance after folding. So I will not be folding exactly 19 inches. I'll be folding 21.5 inches. The 1.5 extra inches that is added, I'll be folding 20.5 inches. I mean, so the 1.5 inch that was added is going to serve as a zipper allowance. So yeah, I'm trying to make sure that it is well arranged. Then I'm going to place the front pattern, the front part that I already cut. I'm going to place it on it after the cloth is laying pretty flat on the table. Now I have to place my front piece on it. Then it will give it to serve as a guideline for me to cut out the back piece. So the measurement I use for my back neckline here is still the same 3 inches neck width, and I use 2 inches for neck depth. Don't forget that at the front we use 4 inches for neck depth, but here at the back I'm going to use 2 inches for neck depth. So after using 2 inches for neck depth, I have to curve it out. I'm so sorry that this was not really captured on the camera. Still looking for a way to station my stand so that it will reveal everything. So here I'm trying to show you the zip allowance, and this is the 2 inches neck depth that I'm cutting out. So after cutting out the main bodies, now I have to measure my back depth. The back depth is from the center of your back to the deepest part of your back. So our own is 17. At that point I have to go in by half inch. The reason I'm going in by half inch and cutting out half inch and tracing it up and down is just to prevent the zip bulging at the back or the dress bulging out at the back. So that's why I have to go in by the half inch, and after going by the half inch I have to open up the back piece. So yeah, I was opening up the back piece, and we are done with the cutting. Now the next step is just to go ahead and cut facing for this fabric. So to cut facing, I'm going to get some pieces of material. Here, so I'm going to place my nail fabric on it and trace out the neck line, just as I was doing in this picture. So I trace out the neckline, and I cut about 2.5 inches width. So this is back facing, and I also did the same thing for the front facing also. So I'll fold the peaks again so that I can use it to cut out the front facing also. Then I'll fold to make sure that I have enough space for the front piece. Then I'll place the main fabric on it, leaving some allowance up and down of the fabric and the facing material. Now I'll cut out the neckline, and after cutting out the neckline, I'll cut some part of the shoulder slope. Then I cut out the facing just the same way I cut out the back using 2.5 inches round. Although I just assume with my eye, I can decide to take the measurement of the face 2.5 inch round like that. Then we are not done yet. Now we are going to pick our, yeah, I'm attaching the velvet trimmings using my hemming gum. So the hemming gum and the velvet trimmings are the same height, so I just place it on it, then iron it out using steam iron to make it stay. The reason I'm putting hemming gum is just to help me maintain a straight stitch. Now yeah, my facing. So now after attaching the hemmings, I have to go and sew it round like that. I have to sew it down, because if not, after washing, the trimmings can pull off. The hemmings gum is not that strong. So at this point, I'm done sewing the trimmings to the fabric. So I want to go and sew the facing that I cut out on the neckline. So here it is. I'm placing the facing on the fabric. So I'm going to sew around that way. Whatever I do for the front, I will also do for the back. I'm going to place it and place the facing on the right side and sew around. So I'm done attaching the sewing the facing to the fabric. Now I have to just notch it to make sure that it is well relaxed before flipping it over. And I've also hemmed the hem of the facing too. So here I'm notching part that I sew so that it can relax well. Then okay, now I can flip it over to the back. Then when I flip it over to the back, I'll give it a good press for it to be able to stay well. So now I'll flip it over. You can see the way it is looking at the front, and it's looking so pretty. But I still have to iron it down. The same thing that I did for the front, I'll also do for the back. I'll try and notch it round and flip it over to the back. So I'm going to give it a good press at those points. After notching it, I turn it over and I give it a good press. So yeah, so that it can sit right. And after pressing it, I have to use my hemming gum to hold it down so that it doesn't fly out anyhow. So then I put the hemming gum, then I iron it. And remember, whatever you do to the front, you also do to the back for this side. So I'm doing the same for the back, pressing it down and holding it down with the hemming gum. So we are done with the neck neatness. Now we go on to the back. I pick up the two back together, right facing right. I'll place the right on the right like this. Then I'll make sure that they're in line. One is not coming out the other than the other. Now I'm going to place my zip on it to know where I will stop or where I will start sewing from. Okay, so I've know where I'm going to start closing up the back from. At that point, I'm going to put a pin there to help me locate it on the machine when I'll be sewing. So then I'll go down again to the hem and measure 18 inches upward. That's going to be my slit. But know that we are not going just going to use 18 inches. We added 2 inches for the hemming allowance. So what I'm going to measure upward is going to be 20 inches. So after hemming it, to come back to 18 inches. So at this point, I measure 20 inches. To when my 20 inches stop, I also put a pin there so I'll know where to stop. So the pin I put at the upper part is where I'm starting the stitching from, and the pin I put at the lower part is where I'm going to stop, because that's where the upper part is going to be for my zip, while the lower part is going to be for my slits. Then I've taken it to the machine and attach my zip to it, so you can see it sitting so pretty. After attaching the zip, you can look at the zip coming out very fine and neat, well laid. That all the inside and the outside are looking relaxed and neat. Now at this point, I will have to go to the slit part. So I'm going to lay them very flat on the table and open up the slits, then fold the side. This side that I'm folding, I will do the same thing for the other side too. I'm going to I went ahead to weave it, then I use hemming gum at that fold it so that it hold it down for me. I use hemming gum, I iron hemming gum to it to make it sit and relax there. Then I flip it over and place the front on the back, right side facing the right side as arranged in the video. So I'm going to sew the shoulder together. Yes, after placing them together, I'll sew the shoulder together. Using half inch to sew the shoulder together. Then no, now I'm done attaching the shoulder together. I'll go ahead and hem the edges round and see the shoulder are sewn together. Then at this point you can just weave it. So I went ahead to hem the sleeve. Then at this point, trying to neaten it up by cutting off the excess at the edge. Now I've turned it over to the front, so you have to pay attention at this point. At this point, make sure that you arrange your fabric very well on the flat surface, whether on the floor or on the table. Make sure that you arrange it very well like this, and you arrange it also equal. Then after doing that, so I'm trying to lay them flat so that one part is not bigger than the other part. And then so at this point here, I'm going to take my measurements starting from the bust point. So bust point is 10 inches. I'll mark the 10 inches. On that bust point line, I'm going to take a bust measurement. Our bust measurement is 40 divided by 2 because our cloth is open into 2. That is 20. So for that 20, I'll take 10 inches at the right and 10 inches at the left. But I won't use that exactly 10 inches. I can use 10.5 or 11 inches just to give it a little ease allowance. Then I'll go to the shoulder again and take my half length. Half length is 17, so I mark the half length. At that half length point, I'm going to take my waist. Our waist measurement. Our waist measurement is 36. So that's 9 at the right and 9 at the left. That is 36 divided by 4. Give us 9. So I'll use, instead of 9, I'll use 10. So I mark 10 at the right and 10 at the left. So I connect the line from the waist to the burst. Then I went back again to the shoulder and take the hip length measurement, which is 24. At that point I took her hip measurement. Her hip measurement was 40, so I'm going 42, I mean. I'm going to take 10.5 at the right, 10.5 at the left. Then I'll add one is I'm making 11.5. So I'll now connect that 11.5 inch to the waist. That's the line I'm having over there. And so I've connected the three lines together. Then I will direct it to the side line. Now, before we sew the front, we have to get something right. We have to flip the fabric to the back. So when you flip the fabric to the back, that point that you measure that the hip, where the hip is, you're going to measure it at the back also. First, lay your fabric neatly and smoothly. Make sure that all sides are equal and no rumple or folding under another fabric, so that it will not reduce your measurements. So okay, the fabric is laying right. So at this point, I'm going to connect the line that we have at the front. Then I will just sew my ease allowance, which is, my sewing allowance, which is 1.5. I will sew it down from where that part that I shock. Whatever I do for the right, I'm going to do it for the left also, don't forget. So I mark out 1.5 all through from that. Then I'm going to sew it from that edge. Now that I've sewn it finish, I will now turn the fabric to the front back. So this is how the fabric look like after sewing the down part. Then after sewing the down part, I also went ahead to hem the bottom of the dress. So after arranging it, then I'll go back to the machine. That line I first drew earlier, I'll go back and sew on that line. I'm going to sew outside, so I'm going to sew on it. Before going to sew, make sure that your cloth is well relaxed, just like what I'm doing here. Yeah, you can see. Then now I'm going to sew on that line that I made earlier. Yes, from that point that I turn over, that I flip over. Yes, so you have to use iron to bring out that part, and I will sew it to that bust point. I'll do the same thing for the left side too. And tala, we are done with our dress. Now I'm going to place it on the mannequin for us to see after sewing on the lines that were drawn there. So see, now I've sewn it, then I've cleaned up the line with a fabric. So I'm going to place it on the mannequin for us to see. Yeah, I've hemmed the lower parts too. This is how the final look is going to look like, and it's looking very